The Lost Diary of an English Learner. The Lost Diary of an English Learner. Part 1. The afternoon sun cast long shadows across the backyard as 12-year-old Ethan dug enthusiastically in the flower bed. He wasn't particularly fond of gardening, but his mother had promised him a new video game if he helped her prepare the soil for the spring planting. His shovel hit something hard with a thud. He knelt down, brushing away the loose earth to reveal a small metal box tarnished with age and rust. Curiosity piqued, he pried it open, revealing a slim, leather-bound notebook nestled inside. It was a diary, its pages yellowed and brittle with time. The cover bore no name, only the faded inscription, "My English Journey," etched in delicate cursive. Ethan carefully lifted the diary, his fingers tracing the worn leather. He had always struggled with English. Grammar rules felt like an insurmountable obstacle. Vocabulary words like foreign invaders in his mind. The thought of reading an entire diary in a language he barely understood seemed daunting. But there was something about the diary's weathered appearance, the faint scent of old paper emanating from its pages, that drew him in. He settled down on the grass, the warm sun on his face, and opened the diary to the first entry. May 10th, 1985. Dear Diary, today I decided to start this journal to document my journey of learning English. It feels like a vast and mysterious ocean, and I'm just a small boat trying to navigate its choppy waters. I'm determined to conquer this language, to unlock its secrets and make it my own. I started with the basics today, the alphabet, simple greetings, and a few common verbs. It feels strange to pronounce these new sounds, my tongue stumbling over unfamiliar words, but I'm not giving up. I know that with practice and perseverance, I can achieve fluency. Ethan smiled. He could relate to the writer's struggles. He, too, felt like a small boat lost in a sea of unfamiliar words and grammar rules. He continued reading, each entry filled with meticulous notes on grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. The writer, a student named Sarah, had documented every step of her language learning journey, from her initial struggles with verb conjugations to her triumphs in mastering complex sentence structures. June 3rd, 1985. Dear Diary, today I learned about the difference between present simple and present continuous. It's confusing, but I'm slowly starting to understand. I practiced using these tenses in simple sentences, and I even managed to have a short conversation with my English tutor using them. It felt like a small victory. I also learned a few new vocabulary words related to food. I'm trying to incorporate them into my daily conversations, even if it means ordering my food in English at the local cafe with a trembling voice and a bright red face. Every small step counts. Ethan found himself captivated by Sarah's journey. He admired her dedication, her willingness to embrace the challenges and celebrate the small victories. He felt a connection to this unknown student from the past, a shared experience of navigating the intricate world of English language learning. As he turned the pages of the diary, he noticed something peculiar. At the end of each entry, Sarah had included a small English challenge, a grammar exercise, a vocabulary quiz, or a pronunciation puzzle. Ethan's initial instinct was to skip these challenges. After all, he was reading the diary for enjoyment, not for homework. But something about Sarah's enthusiasm, her unwavering belief in the power of practice, sparked a flicker of curiosity within him. He decided to try the first challenge, a simple fill-in-the-blanks exercise on the use of articles. He surprised himself by completing it with relative ease. He felt a small surge of satisfaction, a sense of accomplishment that had been missing from his own English learning experiences. He moved on to the next challenge, a vocabulary quiz on words related to nature. He stumbled a bit, but with the help of a dictionary, he managed to complete it successfully. Ethan realized that Sarah's diary wasn't just a personal journal. It was a guide, a roadmap for English language learners. He felt a growing sense of excitement, a renewed determination to conquer the language that had once seemed so intimidating. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the backyard, Ethan closed the diary, carefully placing it back in the metal box. He knew he would return to it to continue Sarah's journey alongside his own. He had found an unexpected treasure in his backyard, a lost diary that held the promise of unlocking the secrets of the English language and guiding him towards fluency. The Lost Diary of an English Learner, Part 2. Ethan eagerly returned to the backyard the next day, armed with a dictionary, a notebook, and a newfound determination to conquer the English language. He retrieved Sarah's diary from its hiding place and settled down on the grass, the warm sun on his face, ready to continue his journey alongside hers. He picked up where he had left off, delving into Sarah's increasingly detailed entries. Her struggles with irregular verbs, her frustration with phrasal verbs, her triumphs in mastering the nuances of pronunciation, it all resonated deeply with Ethan. July 15th, 1985. Dear Diary, I'm starting to feel more confident in my English speaking skills. I can hold basic conversations, ask for directions, and even order food without blushing profusely. But I still struggle with irregular verbs. They feel like rebels, refusing to follow the rules. Today I spent hours memorizing the past tense forms of common irregular verbs. I even created flashcards to help me practice. It's tedious, but I know it's essential for fluency. Challenge. Can you fill in the blanks with the correct past tense forms of the following irregular verbs? Go, eat, see, have? Ethan paused, his gaze shifting to the challenge at the end of the entry. He grabbed his notebook and pen, ready to tackle the exercise. He carefully reviewed the list of irregular verbs, recalling the rules he had learned in his own English classes. He filled in the blanks, his pen scratching against the paper, his mind focused on the task at hand. He checked his answers against the back of the diary, a smile spreading across his face as he realized he had gotten them all correct. He felt a surge of pride, a sense of accomplishment that had been missing from his previous attempts at learning English. Sarah's diary was more than just a historical artifact. It was an interactive learning tool, a personalized guide that was helping him overcome his own language barriers. Ethan continued reading, tackling each challenge with increasing confidence. He solved grammar puzzles, completed vocabulary quizzes, and practiced pronunciation exercises, his English skills steadily improving with every solved challenge. So, August 22nd, 1985. Dear Diary, I'm starting to understand the importance of context in English. The same word can have different meanings depending on how it's used in a sentence. It's like a chameleon changing its colors to blend in with its surroundings. Today I learned about the different meanings of the word run. It can mean to move quickly on foot, to manage a business, or even to compete in an election. It's fascinating how versatile the English language can be. Challenge. Can you write 3 sentences using the word run with different meanings? Ethan eagerly accepted the challenge, his mind buzzing with possibilities. He carefully crafted 3 sentences, showcasing the different meanings of the word run, his understanding of context deepening with each sentence he wrote. He was no longer just memorizing vocabulary words and grammar rules. He was starting to understand the nuances of the English language, the way words could be manipulated and combined to create different meanings and express complex ideas. As he progressed through the diary, Ethan discovered that Sarah's challenges were becoming increasingly sophisticated. She introduced him to idioms, those quirky expressions that defied literal translation, and slang, the informal language that added color and personality to everyday conversations. Ethan found these aspects of English particularly challenging, but he was determined to master them. He researched the origins and meanings of idioms, practiced using slang and context, and even started watching English language movies and TV shows to immerse himself in the language's natural flow. With each challenge he conquered, Ethan felt his confidence grow. He was no longer afraid to make mistakes, to experiment with the language, to express himself in new and creative ways. Sarah's diary had become his constant companion, his guide, and his inspiration on his journey towards English fluency. The Lost Diary of an English Learner. Part 3. Ethan's fascination with Sarah's diary deepened as he moved into the heart of her language-learning journey. The entries became more personal, revealing not just her struggles with grammar and vocabulary, but also her encounters with the cultural nuances embedded within the English language. September 12th, 1985. Dear Diary, I'm starting to realize that learning English is not just about mastering grammar and vocabulary. It's also about understanding the culture, the customs, and the unspoken rules that govern communication. Today I had an embarrassing experience at the library. I asked the librarian where I could find books about washrooms. She looked at me strangely and then politely corrected me, explaining that the word restroom is more commonly used in this context. I felt my cheeks burn with embarrassment. It's frustrating to make these kinds of mistakes, but I know it's part of the learning process. I need to be more aware of the cultural context in which I'm using the language. Ethan chuckled as he read Sarah's entry. He had experienced similar situations himself, using words or phrases that were grammatically correct but culturally inappropriate. He had learned the hard way that language was not just about words. It was about understanding the subtle cues and unspoken rules that shaped communication. He continued reading, finding solace and encouragement in Sarah's candid reflections on her cultural encounters. She shared her struggles with understanding idioms, deciphering slang, and navigating social situations where unspoken rules seemed to govern every interaction. October 28th, 1985. Dear Diary, I'm starting to get the hang of idioms. They're like little puzzles, each one with a hidden meaning. Today I learned the idiom to bite the bullet. It means to face a difficult situation with courage and determination. I also learned a new slang word, cool. It means something is fashionable or impressive. I tried using it in a conversation with my classmates, and they didn't laugh at me. It feels like a small victory. Challenge. Can you use the idiom to bite the bullet and the slang word cool in a sentence? Ethan eagerly accepted the challenge, his mind buzzing with possibilities. He carefully crafted a sentence that incorporated both the idiom and the slang word, demonstrating his growing understanding of the nuances of English expression. He realized that mastering idioms and slang was not just about expanding his vocabulary. It was about gaining a deeper understanding of the culture and the way people communicated in everyday situations. As he progressed through the diary, Ethan found himself increasingly drawn into Sarah's world. He felt a kinship with her, a shared experience of navigating the challenges and triumphs of English language learning. He admired her perseverance, her willingness to embrace mistakes as learning opportunities, and her unwavering determination to achieve fluency. He started to incorporate Sarah's learning strategies into his own studies. He created flashcards to memorize vocabulary words, practiced pronunciation exercises in front of the mirror, and even started watching English language movies and TV shows with subtitles to immerse himself in the language's natural rhythm and flow. His progress was remarkable. He found himself speaking English with more confidence, understanding complex texts with greater ease, and even starting to think in English without consciously translating from his native language. Sarah's diary had become more than just a learning tool. It had become a source of inspiration, a reminder that even the most challenging goals could be achieved with dedication, perseverance, and a willingness to embrace the journey. The Lost Diary of an English Learner, Part 4. As Ethan neared the end of Sarah's diary, he noticed a distinct shift in the tone and complexity of the entries. The language became more sophisticated, the challenges more intricate, and a sense of mystery began to permeate the pages. November 15th, 1985. Dear Diary, my English journey is nearing its end. I can now confidently navigate the choppy waters of grammar, sail through the vast ocean of vocabulary, and even understand the whispers of idioms and slang. But my thirst for knowledge is not yet quenched. I want to explore the hidden depths of this language, to unravel its mysteries and discover its hidden treasures. I've decided to embark on a new challenge, a treasure hunt of sorts. I've hidden clues within the pages of this diary, clues that will lead to a special surprise. Only those with a keen eye for detail and a mastery of the English language will be able to decipher them. Ethan's heart pounded with excitement. A treasure hunt. He felt like a detective on the verge of cracking a complex case. He reread the entry, searching for any hidden clues, any subtle hints that Sarah might have left behind. He noticed that certain words in the entry were underlined or italicized. He carefully analyzed the grammar and vocabulary used, searching for patterns or anomalies that might point him in the right direction. He discovered that the underlined words formed an anagram, a jumbled set of letters that could be rearranged to form a new word. He spent hours deciphering the anagram, his mind racing with possibilities. Finally, the answer clicked into place. The anagram spelled out the word library. Ethan's eyes widened. The library. Could Sarah have hidden the next clue there? He grabbed his bike and raced to the local library, his heart pounding with anticipation. He searched the shelves, his eyes scanning the spines of the books, looking for anything that might be connected to Sarah's diary. He found a book on English literature, its cover worn and faded. He opened it to a random page, and there it was, a small handwritten note tucked between the pages. Congratulations on deciphering the first clue. Your next challenge awaits you at the place where words come to life. Ethan pondered the note, his mind racing. Where do words come to life? The theater. He realized that Sarah must be referring to the local community theater, a place where stories were told and characters were brought to life through the power of language. He rushed to the theater, his excitement building with each step. He searched the lobby, the auditorium, the backstage area, looking for any sign of the next clue. He found it hidden in a prop box, a small antique music box with a handwritten note attached to it. Well done, astute English learner. Your final challenge awaits you at the heart of nature's embrace, where the sun kisses the earth and the wind whispers secrets. Ethan's mind raced. The heart of nature's embrace? The park? He realized that Sarah must be referring to the local park, a place where nature's beauty was on full display. He hurried to the park, his anticipation reaching fever pitch. He searched the winding paths, the lush gardens, the towering trees, looking for the final clue. He found it hidden beneath a large oak tree, a small wooden box engraved with the words, "To the future English learner." Ethan's heart skipped a beat. He carefully opened the box, revealing a single handwritten letter. The Lost Diary of an English Learner, Part 5. Ethan unfolded the letter with trembling hands, his heart filled with a mixture of anticipation and awe. The letter was addressed to the future English learner, and it was written in flawless English, the handwriting elegant and flowing. Dear future English learner, if you are reading this letter, it means you have successfully completed my treasure hunt, proving your mastery of the English language. I congratulate you on your perseverance, your dedication, and your unwavering commitment to learning. My journey to learn English was long and challenging, filled with moments of frustration, doubt, and even despair. But I never gave up. I knew that the rewards of fluency were worth the effort. English has opened up a world of opportunities for me. It has allowed me to connect with people from different cultures, to explore new ideas, and to express myself in ways I never thought possible. I hope that this diary has been a valuable guide on your own English learning journey. I hope that it has inspired you to embrace the challenges, to celebrate the small victories, and to never lose sight of your goal. Remember, learning a language is not just about memorizing grammar rules and vocabulary words. It's about immersing yourself in the culture, understanding the nuances of communication, and expressing yourself with confidence and creativity. Never be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are opportunities to learn and grow. Embrace them, learn from them, and move on. Most importantly, never give up. The journey to fluency may be long and challenging, but the rewards are immeasurable. I wish you all the best on your English learning adventure. May you discover the joy of communication, the power of language, and the endless possibilities that fluency unlocks. Sincerely, Sarah. Ethan read the letter slowly, his heart swelling with emotion. Sarah's words resonated deeply within him, her message of encouragement and perseverance echoing in his mind. He realized that he had come a long way on his own English learning journey. He had overcome his initial struggles, embraced the challenges, and discovered the joy of communication. He was no longer afraid to make mistakes, to experiment with the language, to express himself in new and creative ways. He had found his voice, his confidence, and his passion for the English language. He looked up at the sky, a sense of gratitude washing over him. He thanked Sarah, the unknown student from the past, for sharing her journey, her struggles, and her triumphs. Her diary had been a guiding light, a source of inspiration, and a testament to the transformative power of language learning. Ethan decided to continue Sarah's legacy. He grabbed his own diary, a brand new notebook with crisp white pages, and began to write. Dear future English learner, if you're reading this, it means you've stumbled upon my diary just like I stumbled upon Sarah's. I hope my words can inspire you on your own English learning adventure. I used to struggle with English. It felt like a giant puzzle I could never solve. But then I found Sarah's diary, and it changed everything. Her story showed me that learning English is not just about memorizing rules and words. It's about embracing the journey, celebrating the small victories, and never giving up. I've learned so much from Sarah, and I hope you can learn from me too. Remember to be patient with yourself, to practice every day, and to never be afraid to make mistakes. English is a beautiful and powerful language. It can open doors to new opportunities, connect you with people from all over the world, and help you express yourself in ways you never thought possible. And so keep learning, keep exploring, and never stop believing in yourself. The journey may be challenging, but the rewards are worth it. Sincerely, Ethan. Ethan closed his diary, a sense of fulfillment washing over him. He carefully placed it in a small, waterproof box, along with a copy of Sarah's diary. He buried the box beneath the oak tree, marking the spot with a small stone. He smiled, knowing that he had planted a seed of inspiration for the next generation of English learners. He had continued the cycle, passing on the torch of language learning, just as Sarah had done for him. As he walked away from the park, Ethan's heart was filled with hope and gratitude. He had discovered the power of language, the joy of communication, and the transformative potential of human connection. He knew that his English learning journey was far from over, but he was ready to embrace the challenges, to celebrate the victories, and to continue exploring the endless possibilities that language unlocked. The end.